guys, so the best thing about this is that you guys are so your citing text score, you guys do a great job with finding your responses, but we want to do an even better job with finding the evidence to support it. Make sense so far? Alrighty, so when we want to find evidence to support, we have to go through a step. Because sometimes us finding the answer is easy, but finding textual evidence to support that answer sometimes gets a little hard. Or we'll find the evidence and we'll have an issue struggling, or we'll have issues explaining what it is, because sometimes we don't know how to make that connection. So there are three things we want to do. The first thing we want to do, if you guys look at your question, the first thing we want to ask ourselves is what details or inferences can we make about the text? Does that make sense so far? So after we read the text, we want to know what educated guesses or logical guesses we can make after we read the text. Then we want to ask ourselves, what does that mean? So we can make sure that we're understanding it. Well, once that's done, we want to find evidence to support it. Because if we don't have evidence to support it, it's a good opinion, but it's not a good inference. All right? But then once we have all that, to show that we're truly proficient, we have to explain how that evidence helped us get to that inference. If we can't explain that, then we might have weak evidence and we might need to go back and find a strong piece. Does that make sense? All right, so let's start with first one. You have a black cat, you also have the black cat, and you have the black cat. So what inferences can we make about the narrator? What do we know about the narrator based off of the reading? Go first, Jamie.
We know that he's gonna die.
All right, so you made an inference from the text that he's gonna die, because he kind of starts it off that way. All right, what about you? What inferences can we make? He's always drunk. What inferences can we make about the narrator with you, Ezekiel? He takes out his anger on other people. So these are some good inferences or some conclusions that we found from the text. Now what I'm going to ask you guys to do is go back and find the best piece of evidence that shows that he's about to die, that he is always drunk, and that he takes his anger out on other people. See if you can find that. Once you do, I want you to underline it and tell me what you found. All right, take your time.
Because this is what I did with her. I split her in half.
Mona, you okay?
And I put that, and I put
Leave her be. What did I tell you? You're just clowning all your classmates today, sir.
I just put.
Zoe, be careful.
I put that. Can I call her Zaria?
Zoe.
Oh. I put side, and then I put happy. Because at one point she was happy, and then now she's just. I feel like after.
My whispers sound like.
So I just like split her. I'm happy.
Too much.
Would you like a highlight?
The what?
To go color? It don't matter. I'm giving you orange on it. You got purple? All right. When you find it, just let me know, but take the time and make sure you find the best piece. Ooh, what did you find?
Where it says he wants to freeze and the horrible weight before he dies.
Okay. Can you tell me why you chose that best piece of evidence to support that things about the resume? What detail from what you know?
When he said he wants to free his soul from the horrible weight which lies upon him.
Ooh, what's this horrible weight that lies upon him?
The horrible stuff he did.
What did he do?
Well, he took his anger out, like you said. He took his anger out on the cat and the wife.
Ooh, and the wife. What happened to the wife? Why is he truly gonna die? He killed her, right? And put her on the wall. So this is something horrible that he does need to free his soul. So I like that explanation that you have. Because he did do a lot of horrible things. Because we know he's not just gonna die from killing the cat. The true crime is what he did to his wife. All right, what do you have to show that he's always drunk?
That when he was drunk, he had took the fork, that he had took the cat by his neck and cut it.
All right, can you read the quote for me?
Then I took the fork and by the neck, and with one quick movement, I had cut it into one of his field eyes.
Can you keep going? Because I see you highlighted too.
Swallowed the cat out of it.
Ooh, so in this case, he's basically showing that he being drunk made him act badly towards his cat. Why is it important that he act badly towards his cat and not something different? What made this cat important? So why is it important that he acted badly towards Pluto of all things? Didn't he have other pets?
Yeah, go for it.
So he had all those other things, but why is it important that he hurt Pluto? Why does that show me that he's truly drunk and doing
Because
that?
Pluto, but Pluto was like, bring it up to life. He had water and he was like getting frustrated.
Okay, so that's kind of closer to the end, but here we have to know that he truly got drunk or he truly went crazy when he decided to hurt Pluto. Why is it important that the narrator told us he hurt that cat and not some other animal? If you need a moment to think, take that moment. I can come back. Alrighty. What you got, Ezekiel?
He took off his ankle coat. He said, as I went over, and always ran up there. My wife put her man down and stopped my arm. This only increased my anger without thinking. And with the knife being pointed into her
Okay, explain to me why you chose both of those moments and not just one with him acting out towards the cat already. I can actually do it differently. So we remember in the beginning, he hurts the cat, right? By taking out the cat's eye. How come you chose this part and not that other part? What about this one shows me how truly violent he is? Yeah, so he not only hurts the cat, but he also hurts his wife now. And so now with that combination, it shows that he might be getting a little out of hand. Or in this case, it goes back to what you were saying, where his anger is making him make bad decisions. And in this case, did he plan to hurt his wife? No, he just kind of did that out of nowhere, right? Yeah, they said it was sudden. And so because they said it was sudden, we know that he's thinking without acting, right? And does this make him a good character in terms of his reliability? Or does it make it seem like he is not a reliable person? Yeah, he's not reliable. He's making bad decisions and kind of trying to justify it. What made him make this bad decision? What made him make that bad decision?
Because the cat, since he was going down the stairs, he ran on the street on the way home.
Did he always hate the cat doing that? Yeah, kind of in the beginning he was like, I didn't like it after he stopped liking the cat. And then he also tried to get rid of him as well. Go ahead and add yours. Put your mask on, darling. Alright, so, why did you choose that? You got it. Yes, sir? Oh, you got it more.
The quote is, I began to drink too much wine and other soft drinks.
I like that you went back and you got that part, because now it shows me that his drinking is the problem. Because at first you were kind of talking about the issues that he was having, but it didn't support that inference that you made about him drinking until you found that part. So I like that you went back and you included that to support your evidence. Alright, so now that we have that, you guys automatically did 3 without noticing it. You started talking about how your evidence is supporting your inference. Because every time I said, well, why that evidence and not something else, you started justifying it. You started supporting it. And we want to make sure you guys are doing that all the time. Because sometimes you guys give me your inference, you give me the evidence, but you don't make that connection. So make sure you're asking yourself, how does this show, or how does this evidence show my inference or my conclusion? By asking that, you give us that proficient answer by making that connection. Sound good? Alright, so I want you guys to make sure when you're going back, may I borrow this real quick? When you're going back and you're focusing on your page, Andrew, I already know you had yours done, but Ezekiel, I see that you're still working on yours. I want you guys to go back and make sure that the inference that you found for the theme is one, a strong inference that's supported by the text. But then I want you to make sure that the evidence that you have lets us, the reader, get that same inference or conclusion that you have. Sound good? Alright, if you get stuck, what are we going to do? Yes, sir. If we get stuck, we're going to go through those questions. And then if those questions don't help you, what are you going to do after that? Read. And then if that doesn't help you, what are you going to do after that? Follow it. Come on. Call on me and I'll come run. Call on me and I'll come run. I do. All right, so make sure that you do that once you are struggling, okay? All righty.